Hello and welcome to Survive the Unexpected with your host Frank Pacino, and of course I am joined by Amanda Bryan, Michael Schaefer, James Hansen, and a special guest. I better not call him Andrew. It is Hart. Thank you for joining us. Happy to have you.
Thank y'all for having me. I'm really excited to do this. I'm one of those. I'm a Survivor super fan, but I go in fresh. I don't like watching any of the pregame stuff, anything. So I'm here to give the fresh perspective.
Yeah. So we didn't have a chance to talk about the first episode, so we're going to talk about the first two episodes and just a general thoughts on the cast and the season as an outlook going forward. Um, the first episode was a little lackluster in my opinion. I think episode two was a much more improved episode as a whole. They used the time really well. In my opinion, they did a lot of camp life. We get to see a lot of relationships build, a lot of dynamics, which I was really happy about, which I was hoping they would do with the 90 minutes. But with the premiere, after the premiere, I know Michael probably was like, I'm ready to stop watching. All right. So let's get your opinion. Like, how did you feel about the first episode, Michael?
I'm always of the belief, to me, I think premiere episodes are kind of like, I won't say the worst of a season, but I always feel the premieres are so slow, and it takes a little bit for the season to get going. That was probably the worst premiere I've ever seen. Oh god! The cast just came off as either boring or idiots, and then you have a quit at the end of the episode, and then Jeff's like, "Oh, it's okay, you can quit." But thank God that the second episode was so much better, or else it would have really, really have taken a big hit.
Yeah, see, I'll say my biggest issue with the first episode wasn't more so the editing was fine. It showed how the 90-minute episodes can work, which we saw in the second episode, which was, I agree with what Frank said earlier, much stronger than the first one. But I don't think the first episode was is as much as it wasn't a good episode, I don't think it was the absolute worst premiere, like Michael said. I think it was definitely towards the bottom, but the fact that we had to quit really took a lot away from it. And the other thing was just looking at some of these this casting and being like, it doesn't look like it was it this season, and potentially making a decision on that after the first episode might be a little premature. But I think that was what a lot of the criticism was. It was a lot on the quit and the casting more so than how it was edited, which would concern me more if it was more on if we were shitting on the episode because it was edited poorly. I think that would be more of a concern, because I think that would definitely doom the season. But I think we can overcome that quit. And I think as much as some of these people might end up being poor casting choices, I think there are going to be a good amount of them that do bring a lot to the table. So I have a lot more optimism after the second episode.
Go on, Amanda.
I definitely was very negative after the first episode. I would kind of agree with Michael. I wouldn't say it was the worst premiere ever, but definitely the worst out of the new era. 100% worst out of the new era. And me personally, I don't remember a premiere this bad in, I don't even know when. I literally don't even know when. I would have to really think
I don't know,
about
maybe
it.
Triple
That's what I
H
was
or
gonna say
Ghost
was Triple
Island.
H.
Yeah.
Triple H probably for me was a big one.
Because
And
even
it
Island of
just,
the Idols and Edge of Extinction, the first couple episodes were pretty good for both of those seasons.
I
Even though
agree,
they're
yeah.
very most people do not like either season.
If I'm just grading off premieres, just the premiere episode, we haven't had one this
Oh yeah,
lackluster
for sure.
in a long time. And I will say that because usually with premieres we get 90 minutes, so we're used to that time frame for a premiere. But now we're going into the episodes of 90 minutes, and I'm really, really glad that they have the editing at least down for this. We got a little bit of everybody. They're wanting us to learn everyone. I will say it's a little Emily heavy, but she's got the most heavy personality out of all of them. So it does not shock me that they're going to focus a little bit more so on her right now, and wait for these other people to kind of rise to her level because she was a lot to begin with. So I do have hope after the second episode that this season's going to be better. I do think this is a weak cast. I'm not thrilled about this cast. There's no one that I absolutely love watching on my television except for Emily, because she's so like attention grabbing. She sucks, but you still want to watch her. Like you still want to watch her.
I hope she sticks a little bit. I'm
listen,
not rooting for
I'm
her,
not
but I
ready
hope she
for-
sticks
yeah,
around. Yeah.
Exactly. I'm not rooting for
For a
her,
little
but
bit,
I'm
at
ready.
least.
I don't want her to leave my television yet because if she leaves our television, then who the fuck am I going to watch then?
You can watch
Snorefest
the
1 or
players.
Snorefest 2?
I wanted to stick around because there hasn't been like a really strong female villain in such a long time, and she's definitely like gonna play that up though. Like I agree. I even think that this first episode was much worse even than HHH. I would put it back all the way maybe to like One World where Courtney just got
Yeah.
But my issue with the first episode wasn't just the quit though. It was the fact that a lot of the information coming at us was Emily is so chaotic on this tribe, and Brandon sucks at challenges. Emily's been chaotic. Brandon sucks at challenges, and then Hannah just quits. So it's like I could have watched the last 5 minutes and understood the basis of that episode. I still feel like we didn't get a lot of content from certain people on the first episode. The second episode did much better, and I feel like I got to know everybody on the second episode. But the first episode, it was just so much going on just for a quit to happen, and it threw me off that was actually happening though, and the editing was really weird for me on that. But after watching the second episode, I did feel better about the season. I do agree. I don't know if there's a lot of standout castaways right now. Emily, I do agree with. I would even put Austin in that category as well. But I'm hoping that specifically picks up where you can find some people that you can connect to.
I think some of the players are, I think, better than we're giving them a little bit credit for, but I don't think there's like super standout characters or players where it's like this person's eye popping. Like Austin seems fun. Caleb seems like a good player, a good character. Go ahead, James.
At this point, though, if you're a great player, you don't want to stand out, though.
Right.
So, like, we're not really going to know yet. Like, did Jesse stand out at this point of his season?
No.
Maybe a little bit. You're like, I like this guy. I want to root for him. But you didn't be like, oh, this guy's going to be probably the best player we've seen in the last few seasons.
I mean,
like,
look how much we got of Ellie and Shan in the beginning of their seasons, and they both were, fairly, flamed out.
Yeah, and I feel last season it was kind of like Matt who got the medevac, and then I feel like there's a lot of attention on Franny being really good early, and I felt like she was always bound for like to go out around where she did, like around like 8th place ish.
I just want to touch on something that Hart and Amanda said earlier about Emily. Oh, she's a good villain. Is it a villain, or is that just who she is? Because I haven't seen anything villain wise. She just seems like a bad person.
I mean, she said, but here's my thing too: is like she knows who she is, and she didn't apologize for it. You know what I'm saying? Because like that's what I thought at first was that she is self-aware, so that means that she's not going to change because she doesn't feel like she has to.
Okay, but that's not answering my question.
But what's your question?
Is this actually a villain, or is she just this person? I don't see it as a villain. I just think she's a bad person.
I see it as a villain because like she comes off very, very blunt, very direct, very to the point. I don't think that necessarily makes her like a bad person. It might make her a bad game player, absolutely, though. I just think that she's encompassing her entire personality, that this is who she is. And of course, once you're on the island and you're starving, it's going to come out like even more. So I feel like, and she might be enhancing a little bit too just for television, though. But I would put her more in the villain category personally, just because of how blunt she really is.
I think she definitely improved a lot with Caleb's help in episode 2, and you showed that it showed her throughout the episode trying to make headway within the tribe. What did you guys think of her giving up her shot in the dark to show trust?
So stupid.
I liked it. What? I liked it.
I don't think the shot in the dark means much. So there wasn't really anything for her to lose by doing it. So,
but
and I mean, if you're in danger,
she did it.
Yeah,
But
she
that's
did it.
not why she did it. She did it to put her word on the line.
Yeah.
She said she don't give a fuck about that shot in the dark. Neither does the person that's getting it. What's important is that she's making a deal with that person saying, if you do this for me, I will do this for you. And they did. Actually, we don't know if she gave a shot in the dark back. That we'll have to figure out next episode.
Yeah, would you give
that.
it back?
No.
I wouldn't give it back. I would never give it back.
That's why it's stupid. You don't give people your advantages.
Yeah, I wouldn't
Yeah,
give it
how
back,
good
but
or
like,
bad you think it is, you don't do it.
But she needed to save face. She needed to save face because she knew that she was in trouble, and so she knew that she had to start making deals. And if she didn't start making deals, her ass.
You know exactly what I would have did? I would have taken that shot in the dark, put it in my pocket, and voted her out.
see, I think Brandon was going home anyways, probably just because they know how New School Survivor's been, and like they just as much as like he probably would have been easier to read and more of a like for sure like less of a player to worry about, more loyal player down the road than what you think about Emily. Like you always have your doubts about her just by her personality. I just think it was too risky for them to bring him back for another challenge. So I don't think Emily really needed to do that, but I don't think, since it's just a shot in the dark, I don't think it really hurt her.
They absolutely made like the correct decision. Like Brandon had to go. If they want to win challenges, Brandon needed to go. And like Emily, although like unless you're swapping right away, which doesn't really happen in the new era, so I don't like then you're good to get rid of her next time if you want to. I don't blame Emily for the move. I think it will come back and like bite her in the ass, but like I think that she was doing what she needed to do in order to say, like, trust me, I want to build this with you. I started off bad. I want to build it with you. So here's this. I'm giving you my potential safety in order to stay alive in this game and build that trust. And granted, like I think she gave it to Sabaya, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah,
so
Sabaya.
If I was Sabaya, I'd be like, yeah, you're not getting that back. But I don't blame her for the move because she just felt like backed in a corner and she needed to make sure it wasn't her.
And see, that's the other thing. Like, I wouldn't give it back, but now she's kind of be like courted into it. Like, if you're taking somebody's advantage, you vote get rid of them. Now, I agree. It was the right choice. Brandon had to leave. If they wanted any sort of shot in the game, Brandon had to go. So, like, I'm not saying like they needed to vote her out for that reason, but like, I think she's gonna give it back, and it's not gonna help. That's just my guess.
Be on the top of a tribe. What supposed to do?
We can't hear you.
Great. Sorry, it's my bad iPad or my bad iPod. So my question is like, what is she supposed to do? Not everyone can be on the top of a tribe. So if she fucked up, she said something too harshly, she put herself out there too much. What is she supposed to do to help herself out? I think she did exactly what she had to do in order to get herself in a better position on that tribe and the amount of time that she had.
Yeah, but just think of what she had to do just to get there, and she's still going to go next.
We don't know that.
I mean, they could have voted her off too, like right when, like kind of like what Michael was saying. They could have voted her off right when she gave up that shot in the dark, like I believe this is what Shan did to JD after he gave the extra vote or whatever it was.
She gave it back to him, then he gave it back to her, so she voted him out.
Right.
That's exactly what you do in that scenario.
Exactly. So they could have absolutely said, Emily, we don't care. I don't know how that would have worked though. Like, would she able to keep the 2 shot in the darks? Since she
probably not,
over?
But that's still, I don't know.
I've never seen that.
They answered this on Jeff's podcast. He said that they can have more than one shot in the dark, but they can't use it with the same tribal council. They have to use them in separate tribal councils.
Gotcha.
So she can technically keep it and have 2 shots in the dark.
Yes.
So she can technically play 2 shots in the dark on her, like herself. Okay, gotcha.
Yes.
So do we? So while we're still on their tribe, we think if they're gonna lose again, that it's gonna be Emily probably, or do you think there's any way she can somehow? I don't know.
I think they're gonna win now.
I think Emily. I think they need to win, obviously, and then hope that at 14 or 15 that they swap. That for some reason they decide they want to do that again this season.
Hey, they're bringing back the
I
auction
know we
this
would
season.
all love it. Like I really hope they bring back the swap because
maybe that's why maybe they will do a swap now that they have 90-minute episodes and we can get to know these people better.
They've got to do something like that. It'll make the season a lot. Like imagine if they win the next challenge and we have an either 3 tribes of 5 swap or 2 tribes of 7 with someone like exiled or something type of swap. And we have Emily just go into a different tribe. Like,
Do you
just
guys
it would be interesting. Like,
enjoy the intro coming back?
Yes.
yeah.
Yes.
Amanda and Frank don't care.
Amanda's
I
a
know.
wet blanket.
Frank doesn't care for it.
Yeah,
either.
no, I record it on YouTube TV. I start 10 minutes after, and I just fast forward into the show.
I still watch it.
Awful.
If
I
I'm
rather
like,
have
if
10
I was like
minutes of
binging a
camp life.
season, I don't care about it. But if I'm watching on a Wednesday night, like it reminds me of when I was a kid watching it. I like watching it. So,
All right, so yes or no, Brandon, the worst challenge competitor of all time?
I don't know about worst ever, but he's bad.
see, I would have to think, and that
He's
fact
worst
that,
of the new era. I can't say he's worst of all time.
Oh well, yeah. There's
Bad
Chet,
ones out there.
Chet
I think
Micronesia.
Chet is the
There's
one
Courtney
who,
Cox out there.
Jatia.
yeah,
Yeah,
Okay.
he's top
Well,
5. Top 5.
he's definitely up
He's up
there,
there.
especially for men. I don't. There's a lot of people that are like women who are.
Do you remember
not
the
as good.
guy in Nicaragua that looked like he was like a mafia boss? Dan. He made it really
Dan?
far. Yeah, he was really bad in
He was
challenge.
really
Like,
bad.
he was
Mhm.
atrocious at challenges.
I remember that. All I remember him was like sitting on that big
Yeah.
chair.
You know,
But,
he-
So I remember him being like awful at challenges.
yeah, remember when he couldn't jump and he threw the ball? I think it was like the one Fabio was like in the net or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, and Fabio
Dan
peed
just
in the
threw
pool.
it and then just jumped in the in the water. Like he didn't run and jump like you were supposed to. All right.
I do remember
I just
that.
thought of before as we're on the challenge thing. One
Yeah, no. So like,
all right, one person though who was hilariously bad at challenges that looked like they would be good was War Dog. He was so bad at challenges.
Crystal Cox.
Hey, you're talking about
And Crystal,
Spring
yeah.
Oh,
person
Crystal.
there.
Yeah.
hey,
She's an Olympian out there, and she's one of the
was
worst
so
challenge
bad.
players ever.
She
in
was
Survivor.
really bad.
okay. Poor Brandon. He got it from the jump.
I
They
feel
started-
bad for the guy.
They
He seems
start
like a
out,
nice dude, and he
Yeah.
just
They
had
gave,
an
him they gave him the dodo edit from the
They
start.
did. They did.
Yeah,
he had
dude,
an
Really did.
unfortunate time out there. Is the way I would put it.
he failed at every challenge he participated in.
He failed at everything.
Everything.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Besides getting people to kind of like him, I guess
Yeah.
is the only thing. But
I think the no swap
Yeah.
definitely was going to do him in. If there was like swaps in this, I think they would have been more inclined
Yeah,
to
but
keep him
he
over
went to-
Emily.
before we get to, I mean, he did go to Shipwheel Island. He could have.
Oh, and he failed
messed
that
that
too.
up,
Got it, yeah.
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 If I can't do a puzzle, I might as well just go home.
Yeah, foreshadowing at its best right there.
Oh.
After
man.
episode 1, I'm sitting here like, what's either going to happen is this just going to continue to happen and he's going to suck at challenges, or he's going to get like the Sari edit whenever she like did the balance beam and it's like, oh my
Yeah.
god, you finally did it. Like I was like, one of these two is going to happen. I wasn't sure which one, but
This is a great example of why just because you are a fan of Survivor does not mean you need to be on the show.
yes.
120%.
I mean, they should cast some super fans. They don't need to cast.
how did he
that
make
many.
it through casting?
Oh, easy because of his personality.
He
Yeah.
he was a good person like, to get cast on the show. They didn't know he was going to be one of the worst challenge players ever.
Look,
He came on with very charismatic. I will
He
give you
really
that.
broke
Very. I don't
down.
know why
I think
Amanda's
it's
hating
just
on him.
like I don't know. I think if you have a certain level of anxiety, you can't handle it.
Well, I think the part
just
of
it's hard.
How are the
first
producers supposed to
challenge-
know that?
the first challenge, a lot of that was mental too. I think. Like
Mhm.
I really do believe that latter thing. I think he has the strength to do it. Obviously, I think part of it was a mental thing, but I also think like he probably could have prepped physically a little bit better for the show. Like you should definitely be you should be as prepared as you are
Definitely.
going to be when you go out
Yeah.
there. And that's the other thing with Hannah, like why didn't she try to quit nicotine like 2-3 months before the show? Like I don't understand that
I mean,
either
be
because
like,
I feel
be
like
like Shane Powers, quit cold turkey to go out there.
Yeah.
And guess what? He didn't quit. He lasted 30
yeah, and he
days.
almost lost
Yeah.
his fucking mind out there.
He lasted
he
he
didn't
lasted
quit.
longer than any of the new era players that have played.
yeah.
You mentioned Brandon with his anxiety though, and I know what they have the I think her name is Dr. Liza. They have the psychologist out there who they have
Yeah.
to talk to before they actually go out there, and it's normally like, okay, you got the clearance, you're good to go. And I'm assuming with his anxiety, like he was good to go. Like they deemed him like ready to go. He just had a panic attack right after swimming though, which swimming does very well. I'll give him credit on that. I will.
My thing is probably when he was probably trying to get up on the ladder, he probably missed the rung or something, and then it all just crashed on him.
Yeah.
Well, I think having like obviously you could get through like the psych stuff and be okay, but maybe in the middle of the challenge, obviously your anxiety is gonna shoot up so high, especially if you're a super fan who he probably had much higher expectations for himself in the first challenge too. So I kind of understand that failure on that part.
And we're talking about like passing psych stuff. Look at Paloma last season on Big Brother.
God,
how did she pass the psych test?
I mean, how do a lot of people for Big Brother pass?
I was reading an article after Hannah's vote off though, where for the first time, Jeff, as soon as that trial was over, Jeff went up to like Dr. Liza and a couple other people and said, "This is the first time that we got this one wrong. She should have not been on the show."
Yeah.
So she was like, she should have not been psychologically clear to get on here. Not that anything was
But
wrong
like-
with her.
But like I get it too.
There's
Like,
like
she
weird
was, like her personality was really good too. You know what I'm saying? Like just because she made a wrong decision, like I think if she would have just stuck it out, I had no doubt in my mind that Hannah would have been able to connect to those people. No doubt in my mind that by personality wise, she was
in no danger of going home.
I think if she had stuck it out, she would have been probably an average player.
She would have
like,
still
probably got to the middle of the
game.
game. Yeah.
Yeah. But she just couldn't handle it because I mean, is she a fan of the show? I don't
recent I listened to her exit interview. She's a recent fan, like within the last couple years. So.
I feel bad for her for the simple fact that I bet people are eating her up.
She quit the show.
Yeah.
I mean, yes, I agree. I agree, but for someone who's not a super fan of the show, she doesn't understand the hate that she's going to get.
Yeah, anyone actually like messaging her like you're
you're
a loser if you're doing anything like that. But
I agree with that.
But yeah, she knew there was going to be repercussions by quitting, especially when it's so hard to get cast for the show. So,
I think that's
putting that early in the game. Yeah.
I don't agree with people like messaging her by any means, though, but like people who have been applying for years and years and years to want to be there, and then she quits on day 3, though. Those people, I can understand those people just being upset, though, but you should obviously never like message anybody and like bully them by any means.
All right. So, what do you guys think of the other 2 tribes so far?
Well,
I will say I like the way the editing is with the 90 minutes that we actually get to see all the tribes now.
Yeah, it's been good. There hasn't been one tribe they completely ignored like the last 4 seasons, basically.
Or like how you can kind of tell who's going to lose the challenge based on how much screen time the other tribes are getting before the challenge. Because like, oh, we'll see blue and we'll see red. We won't see yellow because they're going to tribal. You'll see them after.
Yep. Now it's being more spread out. So I mean, you got Bruce out there talking about his 5 minutes on the show. Already annoying people with that. Like, I don't understand that. Like, just don't talk about it. Like, you were not there for very long. You don't have this advantage over anybody. I don't know why.
His advantage went out the door night 1.
Yeah, I don't know why he's still like bringing it up and stuff. Like, Bruce seems like a fine guy, but it seems like the girls on his tribe really do not want to work with him. I know. Was it Katara had a lot?
Katora does not want
Katora,
Katora does not like Bruce.
Yeah.
No. I don't like him either.
It's so funny. She's like, she everything he does, she is like talking bad about everything Bruce does. It's so funny.
And then everyone else on the tribe's like, "Yeah, Bruce, go." That would totally be Amanda. Wet blanket.
Listen, okay, I do not think the whole like grown man that acts like a child bit is funny. I don't at all. I just don't. And so like the whole like, oh, I'm the fun uncle. Look at me, I'm a clown.
Yeah,
like no, like that to me is not funny. Like it's not funny at all. And so like being around someone like that to where I couldn't get away from them and there's nothing to distract me like technology or other people, like I would get tired of Bruce very quickly. Very quickly.
The only part I feel bad about Bruce about is sorry, Frank. The only part I feel bad about with Bruce is they said like in the first episode oh, like I don't want to. He's like, I don't want to have to like direct here because like I've been here before. I don't want to have to do that though. And then they just instantly showed him directing. I'm sorry, they've probably been asking him advice. Let's be real. And I
Yeah.
feel bad.
Yeah.
I think they edited for that purpose. They're like, you've been here before. What do you think's best? That's definitely what happened.
Yeah.
If Bruce makes merge, I will be shocked.
See, I won't be. I'll be
I won't
shocked
be.
if he doesn't
I'm
make merge.
yeah. I think Kelly and Brando were gonna go with the guys
See,
ultimately.
I think going in to the season, I thought he would definitely be a lock to make merge. Now, after watching the first 2 episodes, I'm not quite as sure because I think the 3 girls on that tribe are gonna stick together. Like they seem like they're
Brando.
Can you imagine?
and then
if,
it seems like Brando's their 4th in, and then either Jake or Bruce would probably be targeted.
Yeah.
if that
Brando
tribe
literally
lost.
said, he's like, I'm a small guy. I'm not a physical beast. I'm going to align with these women because they're going to accept me more than these other men
He's
will.
saying that now. Let's see what happens when they go to tribal.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
can you imagine if Bruce was on the Tika tribe last season?
God,
Yeah, what would have happened if they would have lost?
I don't know.
I don't know.
But like all his energy would have been right with Caroline.
Oh God.
Oh God, that would so much.
Who's that right or die? Carolyn and Bruce.
I feel like that would have actually made Vreeland stop watching the show.
Definitely.
I can't picture like them two like meshing and interacting and stuff. So like it's hard to picture that could have been a real possibility. Yeah.
Who surprised you guys the most?
In a good way or a bad way?
Good.
Either.
Well, I don't know his name. First of all, I don't know his name, so that's kind of bad. The really tall guy on red,
Drew, yeah.
Drew. His
Napoleon
episode 2 was phenomenal.
Yeah, I like him more than I liked him more than some people going in. I thought he could be interesting, but I think his second episode was a lot stronger of a showing than the first one.
I'm gonna say
I mean, he got to
Caleb.
stick with that power.
I think Caleb's killing it.
I like Caleb more than I thought I would. He's my favorite person on that. Him and Sabaya, I do like.
Oh, I love Sabaya.
I was higher on Sabaya going in than
Yeah.
Caleb though. So
I'll say Sean, just because I thought Sean was such an easy first boot fodder going in. He seems like he's gonna be a good player.
Yeah,
And I will
Sean
comment
seems-
on Napoleon, aka Drew. He annoys the crap out of me.
he is such a nerd.
I like Drew.
I
I
love
think
seeing it.
I think he had a great approach. He is very self-aware of himself, which is a huge plus. Like he went to Austin and said, "Hey, you can be my JT to my Steven." And then he played up the Julie, you're like my mom figure.
I like
up
that.
here.
I think that. See, I was impressed by those two interactions by him. I don't love the JT to Steven. Like if you go and say that, that's kind of a red flag for me. But if he's looking to be genuine about a connection there, and Austin is about it too, I think Drew could be in a solid spot.
And I think
which tribe was it that won the fishing gear?
Both of them did.
Which one won the
got
big
first?
one?
Was it blue?
Red.
By half
Red
a
got it.
second.
Okay, so
It
I
was
wonder
red.
who's gonna be the fishing
Austin.
star over there. Austin. Yeah.
So,
Austin's gonna be our next Aussie.
Oh God! Hopefully, he's a better player than that.
What do you guys think of him?
Monty stays around long enough for visual appeal. That's all I care about.
Or starts an OnlyFans after, right, Hart?
That too. That would help.
What do you guys think of the Shipwheel Island this time around?
I like that they're changing it up. I
do.
wish it just didn't exist.
It's the best possible version of it they could have done, I think. I still don't love it, but it's not taking as much away with these longer episodes, and I thought what they did was a little bit more like interesting.
It didn't leave it up to chance.
It wasn't forced. Yeah, it was more like you had more of a say in what you wanted to do.
I miss them sneaking out of camp. I wish they still had to sneak out of or like find a sneaky way of doing it because I don't like how it's like,
that just seems so stupid.
Who's gonna
But the
go
sneaking out of camp?
on the boat?
Yeah.
Yeah, I like sneaking out of camp because I feel like whenever like the boat's coming and then like they're like, oh, pick one player to go on the boat, and everyone knows what it is. They're like, oh, this person's gonna go and get an advantage now. I just wish it was like, I don't know, I wish it was more challenging, or like I wish that it was a secret or something to where they had to like overcome something in order to go get it, other than just pick someone who gets to go and pick an advantage. I don't know.
Could you imagine if Brandon had actually won that puzzle?
No.
No. No.
Oh my god!
I think that I think that the first two boots obviously are the first two boots that are deserving. It's not like last season where Maddie went home and everyone was like, "What the fuck?"
Maddie, who could have been one of the better players
Yeah,
on the season, was the
exactly.
first
Oh
boot.
my gosh.
She robbed.
She is so
Absolute.
rude.
Yeah.
I felt like I was devastated. She actually went to high school with one of my friends too, so
Oh,
I
wow.
was like,
We remember.
yeah, I was high on her pre-draft the last time,
Sorry,
but
my
yeah,
daughter was up running around.
unfortunate first boot. But
Okay.
yeah, this one, I mean, at least we didn't have something like that. But yeah, I mean, I think the red tribe is right now is the hardest one to predict who may be targeted. So.
I feel like the red tribe is more of the there's like more purple edits over there because you got like
Because they're winning.
Jay Maya always saw with her was like looking at the map.
I don't know anything about her
Um,
besides that. Nothing.
I feel like she's gonna be the first boot on that tribe once they go. To be
I
honest.
still think Frank thinks it's gonna be D.
I did beforehand, but
I don't.
definitely
Yeah,
I think it's
I think-
Jay for sure now.
yeah, and I think that. I mean, besides running around and stuff, we haven't got the greatest edit from Sifu either. But I can't see them getting rid of him if they lost.
That's the one that's near
Right.
my area, so I hope he doesn't go home.
But them making him sit out of the challenge.
Yeah, I think it's funny. It's like every season we can almost check mark it off. Like, when's the fake girl alliance going to be made and then destroyed?
Well, we've one on each tribe so far, right?
Yeah,
Is
and
there
I
girls
bet
on-
you a girl goes home on each the tribe when the first time they go to tribal.
Mm-hmm.
Probably.
Will it
I
ever,
think-
That's usually how
will it
it
ever
goes.
work? Will it ever work again? Is the girl alliance?
The
No.
three tribes format doesn't help it any at all.
So you
And
don't
no swaps.
you don't think there's any chance the blue tribe girls that Kelly, Katura, and who's the other one?
Kendra.
Kendra. You don't think those three stick together?
Not
I
if
think
they
they're the
lose.
I think they have the best chance out of all of them.
Oh.
I feel like they're the stronger connected
Yeah.
female alliance, but I don't think they stick together.
I think when push comes to shove, Kelly and Brando will go vote with the guys. Depending on when they lose, is my
And I
question.
think
If they
Katara
lose
will-
right before merge, I can see them going with the girls and taking out Jake or Bruce.
I think Katara
Right.
goes there too because I think that's why they're building up the storyline between Bruce and Katara. I think Katara's going to be the one who goes there.
Wouldn't surprise me at all.
Mhm.
Well, if she is more vocal about this Bruce thing, though, and people do seem to like Bruce, that could put a target on her for sure.
True.
So
Well, it depends. Is she like Eric? Is she what's her name? I'm forgetting her name already. Erica, right? On the Yellow Tribe?
Erica.
Emily?
Oh,
Emily, sorry. I don't know why I was
Yeah.
thinking Erica.
All right.
Is she like her, or she's just laying her feelings out for the whole tribe, or is she at least keeping him in their confessional where people don't know that she doesn't like Bruce?
Right.
Right. No, I
I think she's keeping it to herself. She doesn't seem
Yeah.
like she's.
But that's what you should do.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's what
exactly.
you should do.
I definitely think on the blue tribe, Brando and then Kelly definitely stuck out to more than the others for positive wise. They were able to place themselves within the middle, and it's kind of cool that I think they're like a little duo, which is an interesting pairing if they do stick together.
I didn't see that duo coming.
Right.
That came out of
No.
nowhere.
No, so I think Brando was definitely also very self-aware and was able to pinpoint like, hey, Bruce, like, you're a big guy. I want to pair with somebody who's completely opposite. Like, he's very aware to like how to place himself. Like, oh yeah, I should probably relate more to the girls. Like, I'm gonna relate. Like, he did a really good job at like relating to the people within the tribe to make sure he got in the middle with Kelly.
Right.
So that was very fun to see. And I think Kendra had a really fun first episode. And in this episode, she definitely faded to the background, which is why I'm kind of nervous she might go home first. But so what'd you think of Drew? Did we talk about you guys talk about Drew talking about his advantage to his whole tribe?
safety without power.
Or do you
So
what'd you think about that? Him coming up and just
Uh,
telling everybody.
Stupid.
I don't like it, but you do have to come up with a good alternative. And if you come up with a bad lie, it's worse than telling the truth. So it could have been worse, but I don't love telling everybody, even though it is just a safety without power that exposes.
Right. That's why I'm kind of maybe it could benefit him though, because safety without power is really not that powerful.
It's not like
just
it's an idol.
I get
If
to
it's an
leave
idol,
whenever I
yeah.
want it. So it's like I can understand telling maybe some people, but not everybody.
Yeah.
Right.
So I thought it was a good move because I feel like Drew had good relationships within the tribe, and of course, if he just lied about it or told half truths, like they're gonna go to the island, they're gonna figure out what he did, what he lied about, and I just feel like it puts you in a worse spot. Like this new era, you have to like be honest about that shit, and it's kind of
Oh yeah.
BS. The way they have set it up, like there's no way to like hide the fact that you're going to go to try to get an advantage, which hurts immensely.
Well, like I
Um,
said, if you want to lie, you got to come up with a good one. So, like, telling a bad lie is way worse than telling the truth in that situation,
Yeah.
especially since it's just a safety without power.
But what do you guys think of Sabaya? These first 2 episodes.
I really like her.
I like Sabaya a lot.
Yeah.
I know Sabaya a lot too. She's
I-
so easy to watch on television. Like you just want to hear her talk.
She comes. Her personality comes across a lot better than I thought it was going to do. Watching the preseason videos, I was very concerned that she was going to be the way she can be very stern. I thought they were going to turn some people off, but I think it also helps with Emily being on the same tribe as her as well.
Yeah. I really enjoy her.
Apparently, according to Hannah's Rob as a podcast exit interview, apparently, like they were asking, are Caleb and Sabaya actually a duo? And Hannah was like, 100%, they're absolutely a duo, but they're a duo that nobody wanted to get rid of except for Emily.
Yeah.
So now that they're there with 4, and if they don't swap, those 2 are like guaranteed merge.
Oh, I believe it.
I think it's crazy that Brandon gave up the Beware advantage to her.
Oh my god.
That was not
That was so dumb.
Yeah.
So weird.
like you're in trouble, bro. Try to get the idol yourself.
See, he like I said, it wasn't just the challenges. I think he played all around, like played it really bad. Just besides, like I said, aside from being likable, there wasn't much he brought, because that was really bad too. He should have kept that for himself. Like,
I forget who said it. Like he couldn't do anything right. Like, every decision he made in this game was the wrong one.
Right.
It was like Owen times 100. He was this. It's this season Charlie Brown, man.
Jacob Derwin. That's the closest comparison I could make, honestly.
And they were both
funny.
second boot. It works.
That's what I mean. They're both second boot.
Well, no. I think we had a couple fun moments. We did find out Austin had the Beware advantage too. He did tell Drew, this is why I think Drew being open and honest about his advantage also helped immensely, because Austin was very open with him one-on-one, which is very useful, being the only person knowing these sort of things. You guys notice that each Beware advantage is different too?
Yes.
Yeah.
That is interesting.
And I like that. I
like
do
it too.
enjoy that.
I do too.
It's a lot harder to pinpoint who has the idol. Like, if they did all the beads, like, the person who answered all the beads has the idol. So I did like that aspect as well. But I didn't like her getting the candle. I don't know. I just thought that was kind of weird, but
The candle
It's
is
a bit of a
weird.
risk because you gotta.
It is risky. Yeah.
You have to wait.
And they still don't. They're on what, day 5, and they don't have fire still.
Yeah.
Right.
which is probably a record. I think I heard someone say.
Probably. I mean, because in the first 4 seasons, all the tribes got their supplies on like that sweater savvy challenge.
There's tons. Yeah,
And
there's
the fact
tons
that
of people in
neither
Survivor
tribe got it this season.
who can get fire
Oh,
without
that's something
flint
we
too.
didn't talk about. Yeah. Basically, Emily calling them out for not getting it. They have an advantage. Also, big red flag.
So weird.
So stupid.
That was so bad.
And then it's like it'd be one thing if she would whisper it and said it to one person or something. Like
Yeah.
she said it to like
Everybody.
everyone and then said it at tribal council. I mean, like called them out at tribal council. Like
How bad of a player do you have to be?
like she was really setting herself up to be one of like the all-time like shoot yourself in the foot first boots.
Yeah.
And I
They got spared by Hannah
was
quitting.
sort of saved, and I think she might be here for the long haul now, as long as they win another challenge. Like she just has to avoid tribal because, like I said,
If they lose, she's done.
if they lose, she's
Definitely.
done. But if we do get for some reason get a swap, we just need them to not come in last for one or two challenges.
Right.
So
She's literally gonna go over to another tribe and be like, "Let me tell you everything going on Lulu."
she's gonna I think she'll infiltrate another tribe. Like that's what I
Yeah,
think.
definitely.
So
She's gonna leave those three high and dry.
yeah.
Definitely.
That or her new tribe will find her annoying and vote her out.
So my big concern of the red tribe is that we're getting a lot of purple edits, like Hart said, that this tribe might not go to tribal, or if they do, it'll be like one time, and then it'll be like the orange tribe from last season.
Oh god.
One
We
of
get
the
no content from
worst
them. We don't know what
That's
the
one
fuck's
of the most
going on.
useless tribes in the history of Survivor.
maybe the
Yeah.
most
Hated that
useless
tribe.
new era tribe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like who got screen time in that tribe? Brandon?
Their best
Hardly
person was the
anyone.
first boot.
Literally.
Their best one was the first boot.
Yeah, so as of right now, Vreeland lost their first overall pick. Oh, well, third overall, but his first round pick. Michael lost his first round pick.
Fifth overall.
Fifth overall.
So who fourth and fifth overall are already Hannah
Yeah.
was taken fourth and
Brandon was taken fifth.
Okay.
Yep.
And I think Braylon and I were both almost going to pick the other. Like, if he took Brandon, I was taking Hannah. And he said he almost took Brandon.
Either way, it would have been a bad pick.
Who was the last pick, or who was the leftover?
D.
Really?
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
It was. I had the last pick between Julie and D, and I literally flipped a coin.
And then Edward got
Ed
D,
got D, and I got Julie or Julia, whatever her name is.
Interesting.
I have Austin, Caleb, and Emily.
yeah, I don't like my team, but it's
I don't remember who I have.
I like
I'm
my
gonna-
first I have Jake, who's my other two?
Drew
and Sean. So I feel better about Drew and Sean than I would have, but
Yeah,
think I
Jake
have
might be in some
Seafood.
trouble.
Jake
Brand-
going that high, yeah.
I think I have Sifu, Brando, and
Jay.
no.
See, I
Oh,
wanted
no,
Brando.
Mike never
instead.
sent us the picture of the draft.
Yeah, here I got it right here.
I
I'm looking at
wanted
it.
Brando instead of Drew, and I ended up with
Yeah.
Drew right after. But
I'm gonna draft with friends right now, and there's 9 of us, and I had the snake ordered like right at the end, so like 9 and 10, and my lovely decisions were Jay, Maya, and Katara. That I don't feel like I'm gonna do very
Right.
well in my.
see, I don't hate the Katara.
I had Brandon and Bruce in that one, so I'm out on a pick on that one too.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah, I'm not upset with Katara. I mean, I like her much more than Jay Maya right now. But I just feel like if that tribe goes, she might be screwed.
She's in trouble.
Yeah.
So, do you guys genuinely think that a swap could make or break this season, and it could turn into get a
I
little
would
boring
love
if
to see
there
a
is no swap?
I would love to see a
because-
swap.
Yeah,
wanna
I
see
think
different
the
dynamics.
fans are getting tired of seeing the same
I,
thing over and
I
over.
want to see a real swap, not that crap they did last season where one person on each tribe moves.
Agreed. I think
It was
seeing a
better
swap
than-
now would be nice.
Better than nothing.
It was better
It was
than
better
nothing.
than nothing,
but
but-
yeah, give me a real swap too. Yeah,
Like, go to a challenge at Final 14, drop your buffs. We're going to 2 tribes of 7.
I'm all on board.
That's the way it should be.
It should be like that.
I'm
I mean, I
tired of
understand why-
seeing 3 tribes.
I get why they did it like this, though. I know they're trying to do anything to like not have to worry about COVID or anything like that. But it's they got to bring it back now at this point.
You
See,
would think.
Whatever they did in 41 and 42, cool. They're just trying to get a season shot. Like,
Exactly.
come on now. This is season 45.
Who?
I'm still holding out hope they go back to 39 days. They won't, but
See, as a viewer, it doesn't make as much of a difference to me. I do think it takes away from the yes, it's not as hard to go through a game as it used to be for them, but for us, it really doesn't to me make that big of a difference. The 39 to 26 days. I think there are bigger issues with
I agree with that.
new age than that.
Automatic fire.
Oh, automatic fire.
And you know they're gonna keep that. That will be here.
Well,
to stay.
Jeff said that's never going away. Thanks, Ben.
No,
Thanks, Ben.
Thanks, Ben.
it's permanent.
God, but it's like
The new final tribal format is still stupid.
Yeah.
so. Yeah, I wouldn't hate
it. I want individual questions back.
That's gotta like at first it didn't irk me as much. Like I was kind of open to the change, and after seeing it play out for this long, I'm like, nah, the old shit was way fucking better. Like it was way better. It was.
Could you imagine go back to Survivor 42 and just Mike
No.
sitting up there? Each person goes to Mike. You lied to me. No, I didn't. I was loyal.
Every person that goes up there.
Oh my god.
Do you okay? Give me one or two players who you think is the front runner thus far. Go ahead, Michael. It's your
We're on
favorite
episode
topic.
2. How the fuck are we supposed to know?
Yeah.
All right. Who do you have faith in like going in the game? That's a
All right,
better one.
I'll start because I already have two. I know
Okay.
people want to steal mine. Austin and Sabaya.
That was my exact two.
I was gonna say Sabaya and Katara.
I agree with.
I was gonna
Austin.
say Sabaya and Brando.
I feel
Okay.
like I think Sabaya is going to get clipped at some point for being such a big threat.
Mid-merge, maybe.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm just thinking about who could definitely be like very strong big players now. Like I'm more than that because I think we'll see more of like the darker horse, like the person who's playing more of the stealthy game that isn't
Right.
as in the like open right now, is kind of
Yeah,
more in the shadows right now. We'll see that later, like more of like the Jesse or Omar type. Like
Mhm.
we'll see someone come along like that, I think.
I'm way more optimistic after this episode than I was the first episode.
Me too.
So
I agree.
I really hope it keeps upticking. I was very worried with the 90 minutes they were going to give us like 2 challenges.
Oh my god.
Chipwheel Island lasts for 30 minutes, 2
please
segments.
not.
Like,
I loved how they did the episode.
yeah.
Yeah.
If they do that the whole season, it's gonna be great.
I agree.
Agreed.
And I can't believe that hammer that Jeff knocked down. If you sit out one challenge, you have to now play the next challenge. No matter
Now they're
what.
doing it the way orcs do it.
Yeah, what
Yeah.
they should.
So you know what I'm
No more
holding
standing
out.
sit out bench.
That's how they always should have done it, but I love how
Yeah.
they're doing it. Orgs did it the right way first. It's sad, but one thing I was going to say is that I don't know. I think this season, even if we don't get a lot of great players, for some reason, I feel like this could be a fun, messy season. Like season
Yeah.
41 and 43, which I didn't like that much. I thought that they were like they lacked excitement at times. Like 43, Frank likes to mention, it did have a few really good episodes, but there was a lot of really weak episodes. And 41, I thought was kind of just boring the whole time. So I think 45 here. I think there's more of a potential for even if the players aren't going to be great. I think it could possibly be a fun, messy season from what we've seen so far, especially watching that tribe because they are one of the messiest tribes we've seen.
I just want to know what like their big deal is because I feel like they haven't shown the fans yet what like their big thing is this season because like last season it was like the bird cages. And I feel like for Survivor 45 they want to outdo Survivor 44 and they haven't yet. And I don't know. I feel like I'm like waiting for something. I just feel like it wasn't a complete first couple of episodes. Like there's got to be something more.
No, I
It
think
could all be the wax figures. That could be the last part of it for the
Could
idols.
be.
I'm just hoping it's better than 43.
I hope anything.
I like 43.
Yeah.
I despise 43.
Oh, so Hart, we've talked about it us here before. I want to hear your rankings. So, how do you rank the new era seasons?
Yeah, so I'm currently, I haven't made it all the way through, but I'm currently trying to get through you guys' season rankings for all of them. But by the way, Mammers is absolutely correct on Vanuatu. I want to point that out real quick. But
Absolutely.
for the new school era specifically, I would go 42, 44, 41, 43.
Thank you.
Okay. See, I'm 42, 44, 43, 41.
No, I like the characters better in 41 than
They tell me I'm crazy for thinking 41 is better than 43. 43 was terrible.
I think
41
41
was
was terrible. I think 43
Yeah.
is a little.
If Jesse wins 43, it goes up for sure.
Definitely.
That's it. Yeah. I mean, I didn't care about Owen.
Final
I
three
didn't
was
care about, like,
terrible.
Sammy
Final
as a
three was
Sam.
awful.
I didn't care about any of them except for like Jesse and towards not towards the end, but like I did like Carla.
Yeah.
We have to get off because Frank's falling asleep.
Hey, Frank, wake up.
I didn't even notice until you said something.
Oh,
No, I did like the direction this season is going. It can't go worse from the first episode, I don't think.
I agree.
Pray
So-
it cannot get worse than that first episode.
Let's
It's
just
so bad.
pray, that that's only going up from here.
Who's your guys' winner pick before the season started again? Mine was
was Anna.
Kelly. Oh,
Mine was Sabaya. So
My winner pick was Sifu.
I didn't have one. I didn't do any preseason
Yeah.
stuff.
so
See,
all ours in except for Michael's. Way to go, Michael.
Oh, if I had to pick my own team, I would have picked Brandon. So
I'm done.
not either way.
No, I like Kelly, so I'm very excited. I'm very happy I went with Kelly and not Hannah.
hmm
Did you see her exit interview?
Nope.
I haven't yet.
I don't care.
No.
I'll
I haven't
watch
seen
these
either of
interviews.
them yet. Because Brandon
I saw
is
Hannah's.
up too.
I'll
I
have
thought
to see
Hannah's on our half.
Brandon's.
Yeah, I saw Hannah's on our half, but that's it.
I haven't seen either.
Yeah. She says, "Sorry, I got casted." Da, da, da.
Yeah.
Hey, you should be sorry you got casted.
Yeah,
Yeah. So,
Rob's
yeah.
like, you don't have to apologize to me. Like,
I mean, I don't get me wrong. I completely agree with it.
Yeah.
It does suck for some people who are like been trying for years, would love the opportunity, but like
But
It
you know
is
what?
what it
That's how
is,
reality.
man.
That's a TV show first. That's how reality TV goes.
that's it. Yeah,
Mhm.
they're casting
know?
a TV show. They're not casting somebody to play
Definitely.
the game. Unfortunately, that's not their casting. They're casting a television show. So let's live and learn, I guess. Live and learn. And then Brandon was great. His exit interview. He had nothing but nice things to say about his
no,
whole tribe.
you listened to Brandon's already.
Mm,
I didn't
yeah.
hear. Okay. It's good
Yeah.
though.
I mean, it's fine.
I'm
I mean,
sure
all
he's
he,
extremely grateful.
yeah, he talks about how much he loves everybody on his tribe.
Right.
He's an overall nice guy though, and I think he
Yes.
understands. Like, yeah, they could
Definitely.
Dude, like I said, I've never seen somebody like do so bad at some of these challenges like the way he did. It was just
God, it was bad.
him falling into the boat, the first challenge, like he was like dead, like flailing around onto the boat was just
Or falling when they were trying to climb up that wall and he fell
Dude,
down.
he hit that floor so hard, that ground so hard, and he just laid there for a minute. It's like, is he?
I know they like kept it there, like he's just laying there. I'm like, stop doing this to this poor child.
The man was.
You wanted Survivor, Brandon. You got it.
Yeah, the man looked like Yamcha.
Yeah.
Oh, you guys aren't Dragon Ball Z fans. You guys don't get it.
I'm not.
No.
Sorry.
Dig through it, Brandon.
But
Well,
let's see. Let me see. I think that's all. I mean, there's not really much left. Like the vote offs were just lackluster. I think we'd have more to discuss if we actually got like vote/interesting votes. Like Brandon was a no-brainer. Hannah quit. We didn't mention the twist that wasn't shown either.
yeah.
Oh, word.
Apparently
Kendra.
Kendra was at the camp, and got to cast a vote, and apparently she voted for Brandon.
Mhm.
But
I
I
don't
sound like from
understand why they wouldn't show that.
I don't understand. But they completely edited it out though, because if you watched whenever they did the reactions, they were like, "Get your look at the new Lulu tribe." Hannah voted off, and then you see like Kendra, and she's like, "What?" I'm like, "You were there."
Well, yeah. So Kendra was not at Tribal.
She wasn't at Tribal.
She
She went to the
she went to
the
Tribal.
camp, and based off of her interactions at the camp and what she heard from everyone, she got to cast a vote based on that. Is what
Got it. Okay.
And
she wasn't actually at the.
And from my understanding from Brandon's exit interview, the reason why she voted Brandon was just in case Emily had something, so it'd fall on him as a backup.
Got
Makes sense then.
But
So-
that's what from Brandon's perspective.
Right.
So I think it's also though it would be funny if she was at the tribal and she was like in the Rob and Sandra like somewhere like hiding.
That's that was one of the best things about IOI right there.
Let
Was
them
it?
hiding.
Was it though?
I mean, what else
There was
could
nothing
you
good
say?
about IOI.
Right.
That shit had me laughing the whole time. But no, I agree. They should show. I wonder if those relationships are going to come back to matter later on, and that's why I'm a little worried for Kendra.
And
I
could
don't
she
know
be
if it
targeted
will.
because of that? Yeah,
Right.
people are skeptical because of that. We shall
Right.
see.
So, because she was wheeling and dealing according to Brandon.
Jesus.
So
Kendra seems like a player. I will say that she seems like a really good player. I think if she can get her footing, she can go far.
I just think that's the problem is that she's going to be the first boot if they go to tribal.
I
disagree too. So I just want someone else to go to tribal this week. Come on, please.
I have a feeling Red's going and J Maya's going to be voted out. That's my theory.
That's no loss.
I mean, I agree, but
it's no loss to the show. Yeah,
no
lost to my fantasy team.
That's cool.
Boo-hoo.
That's cool. I mean, a Sean, a Jake, or I like Drew though. I don't want Drew to go anywhere.
Yeah, I don't know what we'll do without Purple J
Maya,
Maya,
but Jake can go. I mean, he's
I like Jake too.
Yeah, he's kind of there.
He's haven't gotten much from him besides him really like talking a lot about how he's a lawyer the first episode.
And is he living at grandma's house?
Isn't a good idea, yeah.
Something like that, yeah. I mean, look, yeah, I don't know. He just doesn't do it for me.
Right.
Just not my cup of tea. I did really enjoy Caleb building his relationship with Emily. Very smart.
That was really well. I really liked that moment. I'm not a big fan of those sequel moments or whatever it is, but
Caleb knows what he's doing.
I think he's got it figured out. I really do.
Yeah.
And like I said, I was really high on Sabaya going in. I wasn't as high on Caleb, but I feel even better about him than Sabaya.
Oh yeah. What do you guys think about Sifu?
I love Sifu.
He's random. I mean, he runs around like I don't know what to think of what his social game is going to be like and his like relationship building, but like, I mean, he seems to want to play the game.
He's another Danny.
Oh, we're way worse. Danny had some game knowledge. Sifu has none, I think.
Danny was cocky, but he had some game, definitely game awareness and game knowledge. He pulled off.
Sifu just went out there saying, "I'm going to be Tony."
Pulled off some big moves. Yeah, like really.
Yeah.
No one can be Tony except Tony.
It's literally like it's Survivor 101 now to like know to not go out there and look for the idol the first day. Like if you do that the first day, you instantly go down for me. Like it's
I think it's like you can't get caught doing stuff like that.
Yeah.
But,
no.
So as of right now, we know that Drew has the safety power. Sabaya has the idol, but can't get to it just yet. And Austin has the beware advantage as well, and he hasn't got his idol yet. So we got for terms of advantages. I hope we don't get a ship wheel island every episode because that would get boring.
Yeah, I don't want that either.
If they do one like every 2 or 3, like every 3 episodes, I can take that.
Yeah.
Right.
And I think that's probably what we're gonna see. I guess I can't imagine it being every single episode.
Well, that's
so-
what it was in 41 and
Right.
42.
Well, like, can you imagine if they did it every single episode, and then every single castaway did it, and then every single castaway succeeded? How many advantages would be in the game?
Too many.
Yeah.
It'd be crazy.
So
God,
crazy.
oh my God, there would be so many. There would be so many. It would just be orgs. Actually,
I don't want to say what org that reminds me of, but yes, that would be orcs.
there's a few probably you could.
There's a
name.
few I'm thinking of. Right.
Well, is there anything else you guys like to add before we get out of here?
Oh.
Give
Upon
us a
please.
swap. We need a swap. for the
Yes,
people,
give us a
please.
swap.
That is my number one thing that could make or break this season.
And,
Like,
and
I
no
think
Mergatory, please.
No, that's happening.
mandatory.
if they give us a swap,
Yeah.
I'll sacrifice Mergatory. Mergatory's fine if they give us a swap.
Yeah, I guess we'll find out. But I think that's about covers it. Thank you, Hart, for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you.
It was a lot of fun. Hopefully the next episode we'll be able to talk about more exciting boats. I think that's the thing that's missing so far on this season is an exciting boat.
Yeah, it's 2 episodes in. Give it a break.
Yeah, but
True.
hopefully we get at least 1 or 2 pre-merge, or else it's gonna be a long pre-merge. But until next time, we'll talk to you guys later. Thanks for watching. Bye.